There is a moment that happens in forests, on savannas, and along riversides all over the world. A human appears, and everything goes quiet. Birds stop mid-song. A deer that was grazing a moment ago is suddenly gone. A fox freezes at the tree line, stares for exactly 1 second, and vanishes. It does not matter that you are unarmed. It does not matter that you have never hunted anything in your life. To the animals around you, your presence alone is enough. You are something to be afraid of. This is strange when you think about it. Humans are not particularly fast. We have no claws, no venom, no armor. A healthy adult deer could outrun most people without breaking a sweat. A bear could end a confrontation in seconds. An elephant outweighs us by thousands of pounds. And yet, study after study shows that animals react to humans with more fear than they show toward wolves, lions, or almost any other predator on the planet. Something about us triggers a response that goes deeper than physical threat. To understand why, you have to look not just at what humans do, but at what we represent in the minds of animals. And the answer is stranger and more unsettling than most people expect. Let's start with the science. In 2019, researchers published a landmark study testing how mammals responded to recordings of different sounds played in the wild. They played lion roars, dog barks, hunting sounds, and human voices. Just ordinary people talking. Not screaming, not threatening, just talking. The results were striking. Animals fled from human voices more often and more quickly than they fled from any other sound, including the lions. Across dozens of species, humans ranked as the most frightening thing these animals had ever heard. Not the apex predator with the loudest roar, not the animal with the sharpest teeth, the creature that talks. Why? The honest answer is that we earned it. Humans have been hunting animals for hundreds of thousands of years, and we have done so at a scale and with a lethality that no other predator has ever matched. We hunt across every terrain. We hunt animals of every size. We hunt from distances that make physical strength irrelevant. We use traps, poisons, nets, and weapons that can kill animals we could never defeat in a direct encounter. Most predators specialize. Humans generalize. And generalized danger is the hardest kind to escape. Evolution is essentially a memory system. Not a conscious one, but a functional one. When a trait helps an animal survive, that trait gets passed on. When a trait gets an animal killed, it disappears. Over enough generations, the population remembers which threats are real, not through thought, but through instinct. Animals that treated early humans as harmless did not always live long enough to reproduce. Animals that ran tended to survive, and so running became the default. The fear was written into the biology of countless species long before any individual animal ever had a reason to be afraid. This is why animals that have never encountered a hunter, never been chased, never been in any direct danger from humans, still react with caution when we appear. The wariness was inherited. It was passed down through thousands of generations of ancestors who learned the hard way that humans were not safe to ignore. Some researchers call this the ghost of predation past. The danger no longer needs to be present for the fear to remain active. But evolution is only part of the story. Animals also learn within their own lifetimes. And what they learn about humans, they remember with surprising precision. Crows are one of the most studied examples. Researchers at the University of Washington conducted experiments where people wearing specific masks either captured crows or walked past them harmlessly. The crows that were captured remembered those faces for years. They scolded the threatening humans on sight, dived at them from above, and recruited other crows to join in the harassment. The remarkable part is that crows who had never encountered the threatening person at all also learned to react negatively because they watched other crows respond with alarm. The fear transferred socially. One crow's experience became the whole group's knowledge. This kind of cultural transmission of fear is not unique to crows. Elephants can distinguish between different human groups based on voice, clothing, and scent. Populations of elephants that have historically experienced poaching show dramatically higher stress responses to humans than populations that have lived in protected areas for generations. They are not responding to individual memories. They are responding to a shared history that has been communicated across the herd over time. Fear in these animals functions almost like a language. It carries information about what is dangerous, and it spreads. There is another dimension to human fear that goes beyond hunting. Most predators are predictable. A lion hunts when it is hungry. A crocodile strikes when prey comes close enough. Animals have had millions of years to evolve responses to these patterns. But humans do not follow the rules that other predators follow. We build structures that divide habitats overnight. We introduce noise, light, and smells that have no equivalent in the natural world. We can be completely harmless one moment and catastrophically dangerous the next, with no physical signal that distinguishes one state from the other. To wildlife, we are deeply inconsistent, and inconsistency for an animal trying to assess risk is one of the most stressful things imaginable. Researchers who study what is called the landscape of fear have found that the mere presence of humans in an area changes how animals move, feed, and sleep. Even when no direct threat occurs, animals shift their feeding to nighttime hours. They abandon certain trails. They spend more time scanning for danger and less time eating. The energy cost of living near humans is significant, and it is paid not just in moments of direct confrontation, but continuously, simply because we exist nearby. Here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Some animals are beginning to lose their fear of humans. In cities around the world, urban wildlife is adapting. Coyotes navigate traffic. Foxes explore neighborhoods after dark. Certain bird populations have become almost indifferent to human presence. On the surface, this looks like progress. It looks like coexistence. But ecologists are not entirely reassured. Animals that lose their fear of humans often lose a critical survival buffer. They approach roads. They enter spaces where they are more vulnerable to disease, conflict, and harm. They raise young in locations that seem safe, but are not. In wildlife management, an animal that has lost its wariness of humans is sometimes described as a problem animal, not because it has done anything wrong, but because the loss of fear often leads to outcomes that are fatal for the animal. The fear, it turns out, was protective, not just for the animal's ancestors, but for the animal itself. And when it disappears, something important goes with it. What does all of this tell us? Animals fear humans not because we look frightening, but because we have behaved in ways that made fear the only rational response. We are the predator that hunts everything. We are the threat that cannot be predicted. We are the force that reshapes landscapes faster than evolution can respond. And we are present everywhere on Earth, in numbers and with reach that no other large animal has ever achieved. When an animal looks at a human and feels something close to dread, it is not being irrational. It is drawing on hundreds of thousands of years of accumulated evidence, encoded in genes, passed through social groups, reinforced by individual experience. It is doing exactly what evolution built it to do. The question worth sitting with is not why animals fear us. The question is, what kind of creature earns that much fear from that many species across that much of the planet? And whether, now that we understand it, we are willing to do anything about it.